YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on the channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Definitely check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Do you guys remember this? The Wavebird controller for the Nintendo GameCube? This was my go-to during that generation. I absolutely adored the Wavebird. Part of that had to do with the fact that, it was my first wireless controller. I love the button layout, and it was just extremely comfortable to use. So today I wanted to chat about a product that has some similarities. It's comparable to that Wavebird controller. It's the Wizard controller for the Nintendo Switch. It's put out by Nixie. Shout out to Nixie for sending this product my way for review. I actually like Nixie as a company. I think they put out quality controllers. I've reviewed a couple of their Joy pads in the past, so definitely check those videos out. But let's talk about this new controller. First up, I do want to give Nixie props for stepping the game up with their boxes. Like in the past, the other products that I have received for review, they've been in generic boxes, right? This actually makes it feel like it is a real legit controller, despite the generic boxes that my Joy pads came in the past. Inside of the box, you'll get the user manual. You will also get a handy dandy charging cable, which is always good. Those come in handy for sure. It also comes with two joystick rings that you can swap in and out on the controller. And of course, the big deal here is the actual controller. The Wizard controller does come in two other colors. Of course, we have here the spice orange, if you will. It also comes in purple and black, just like the GameCube consoles. If you're a fan of the aesthetics of the original Wavebird controller, so without a doubt, you're gonna enjoy the aesthetics of this Wizard controller because they are extremely similar to each other, right? The button layouts there are basically the exact same. You have your A button, big in the middle, and then you have B, X, and Y surrounding that A button. Just like with all of the other Switch controllers and Joy pads, Joy-Cons, the Wizard controller does feature the home button, and it also has the screen record button. And I will say one cool thing about the Wizard controller is that it does wake up your Nintendo Switch. There are a couple of ways that you can use the Wizard controller. You can use it like a traditional wireless controller like the Nintendo Pro controller, or you can take off, since this does come with the bridge, you can take off the Joy pads and use it separately, like so. Okay, so you can play wirelessly this way. And probably my least favorite is connecting these big old Joy pads to your Nintendo Switch. It makes the Nintendo Switch look like a monster. Can you see that this thing is humongous when you attach the Joy pads on it? I don't find it that comfortable to use in handheld mode. I honestly don't, just because these Joy pads are so big. Usually the Nixie controllers have the RGB lights that make it kind of stand out amongst the other Joy pads for the Nintendo Switch. What I really like about the Wizard controller is the fact that the buttons are illuminated, and it kind of gives off like this classy feel. My favorite way to use the Wizard controller is definitely like a standard wireless controller. It has a good feel to it. It's solid. The face buttons, I love the face buttons. They feel good as well. They're super reactive. They have a solid quality and build to them as well. And I also will say the triggers are great. They're mechanical triggers, so you get a little, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but you get a little sound to it, and it makes it super easy. Since they are mechanical triggers, it makes it easy to quickly like press them, which is extremely useful for something that requires these, to be used. Love that sound, so great. One thing that I don't particularly care for on the Wizard controller is the D-pad. It feels squishy. It just doesn't have a real good feel to it. And that's not, out of the norm, right? I feel like controllers nowadays have a hard time of having like the perfect feel for the D-pad. So yeah, one thing that I do not like is definitely the D-pad. It's not good. If you're one of those crazy people out there and you prefer playing your first person shooters with gyro controls, you could definitely use the Wizard controller because it supports it. There's also a turbo button on both joypads, right? So if you're into using turbo, the turbo feature in some of these controllers, you can definitely do it with this. I'm not one that messes around with that, but it is there. The Wizard controller also has a vibration. There's rumble, right? Now it's not HD rumble, okay, but there is vibration in the controller, and you can increase the intensity of that as well. One of the biggest selling points for Nixi's Wizard controller is the fact that it has Hall effect joysticks, right? And this is basically just saying that it provides more accuracy than what you would see on a standard Joy-Con or Joypad or even the Pro controller, right? And it's going to prevent stick drift. Okay, that's an issue that I'm sure all of you have experienced, or maybe most of you have experienced. I know I have, not only with the Nintendo Switch, Joy-Con, or even the Pro controller, but you get stick drift on your PS5 controllers and your Xbox Series 1 controllers, right? So the Hall effect joysticks are supposed to prevent that. Earlier, I did mention that the Wizard controller does come, inside of the box, does come with 2 different joystick rings. These are the standard circular ones. When I opened up the box, it had the octagonal rings on it, and you can easily switch them in and out. I thought it was going to be a problem for me to figure it out, but it wasn't. It's just basically a matter of turning the ring counterclockwise on the Wizard controller and then pulling the joystick up in order to switch those rings in and out. Octagonal rings are supposed to be extremely useful for a genre like fighting games, right? I don't particularly play that many fighting games, and I definitely, if I did play a fighting game, it wouldn't be on the Nintendo Switch, but it's there if you're into it. If you're really big into Smash and you're looking for a new controller that will benefit your Smash game, the Wizard has the customizable joystick rings. So far, I've really enjoyed my time with Nixi's Wizard controller. I have used it to play Stardew Valley while I've been streaming. I've used it to play Mario Kart. I've even used it to play Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door on my Nintendo Switch. So if you're in the market for a new controller for your Nintendo Switch and you enjoy playing games like Mario Kart and Smash, you're really into that, and just overall, if you like the aesthetics of the Wavebird controller, this is where it's at. It did take me a while to get used to the whole button layout, but after that, I mean, it was like riding a bike, right? Like I was back into it. Made me think about back in the day when I used to play a whole bunch of GameCube. Nixi's Wizard controller retails for $69.99. You can get it off of Amazon, or you can get it off of Nixi's website. If you decide to go with Nixi's website, you can definitely put in my code STEPS2DEF for 10% off. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna go back to playing my Nintendo Switch. Before I go though, let me know what your favorite Nintendo Switch controller is. I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and I'll check you next time. Peace.